Dear students, I am Dr. S. Tilagavati. Today we will discuss about fuels in quantity cooking. Any resources that are capable of burning have been considered as fuel. As you know, fuels require adequate oxygen to ignite or burn them. On burning, they are capable of emitting carbon dioxide. Fuels may be renewable or non-renewable. This module comprises of all about fuels like its classification, application and conservation. The objective of this module is to explore the classification and sources of fuels, to know the applications of different types of fuels, to enable students how to conserve energy. To say a few words about fuels, they are the materials with potential energy. When they come in contact with any reactor, are capable of producing heat. All fuels consist of any combustible material such as carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur, etc. Fuel exists in different states. Fuels may be renewable or non-renewable. Renewable fuels are the one derived from natural resources. Availability of these resources of a renewable energy is plenty in nature. Besides, they are hazard free and eco-friendly on earth. Example for this is solar energy and biomass. Non-renewable energy fuels are the sources of energy, one which exists on earth in limited quantity. On usage, in due course, they may get exhausted. Non-renewable sources are capable of producing hazardous effect to human population and not environmental friendly as well. Example for this is fossil fuel, natural gas, oil and coal. Here we are going to see the classification. Major classifications of fuel are based on the sources of availability and state in which they are. Based on the sources of availability, fuels are classified as natural and man-made. First, we will see about the natural fuels. One which is available in the environment and can be used without any alterations for fueling is termed as natural fuels. Example for this is wood and coal. And here are the advantages and disadvantages of fuels. Advantages of natural fuels includes it is easy to transport, non-explosive in nature, non-intended cost of production, has moderate ignition temperature, less expensive, byproducts can be used for many other purposes. Disadvantages of natural fuels includes it occupies much space, produces more smoke. Man-made fuels are the one which requires alterations for ease of transport and compatibility in handling and are considered as the one which is more expensive. Example for this is charcoal, coke and briquettes. And it has got some advantages like it is quite easy to transport and easy to handle, easy to compress in suitable containers. Disadvantages of man-made fuels. It produces more ash content when it is burnt. It produces high heat in a short while. Ignites with clinker formation. Their combustion operation cannot be controlled easily. Their cost of handling is high. Based on the state of fuel, it is classified as solid, liquid and gaseous fuel. Solid fuels includes wood, charcoal, coal, straw, peat, manures, solid alcohols, waxes and paraffins. Liquid fuels includes animal fat, liquid alcohol, gasoline and kerosene. Gaseous fuels includes methane, butane, coal gas, acetylene, hydrogen, water gas, blast furnace gas, producer gas. Now, let us discuss about the commonest fuels among the listed one in the above that are used in practice. First, we shall discuss about wood as a fuel. As you know, Wood is the oldest type of fuel and is used as a fuel from ancient time. It is used for cooking as well as for heating in all sorts of works in small outlets like dabas, small hotels, and for bulk production units in almost every villages in towns and cities. In some parts of our country, mainly in the interior parts of hilltops and rural areas, wood is the only source of fuel for them. Now, let us see about coal as a fuel. Coal is a sedimentary rock made up of carbon and hydrocarbons and is combustible. It is black or brownish black in color. Coal is made from decomposed matter of trees and plants. The trees that grow in great deep jungles after their lifespan decompose and become fossils. If undisturbed for hundreds of millions of years, they develop into coal. By the process of carbonization, those fossils become coal. Grading of coal is done according to the period of carbonization. The longer period carbonization it undergoes, it gives a high rank coal. Example for this is anthracite. Lesser period of carbonization it undergoes gives lower grade of coal. Peat is a type of coal that has not undergone deep carbonization, which is ranked low. In large and high turnover hotels and ship catering services, these fuels are used. Coal is also used as a fuel in the electricity production, which then utilized as fuel in food production industries. Coal is milled to a fine powder, allowing it to burn more quickly. It is blown into the combustion chamber of a boiler where it is burnt at high temperature. The hot gases and the energy produced converts water in tubes lining the boiler with steam. The high pressure steam is passed into a turbine containing thousands of propeller like blades. The steam pushes these blades, causing the turbine shaft to rotate at high speed. The steam is condensed and returned to the boiling chamber where it is heated again. The shaft rotation engages the wire, coiled and magnets in a generator connected to it take the charges of it and produces electricity. Electricity is sent to the switchboard where it is regulated. Some of the problems are there due to the digging coal from the earth. They are acid rain, sulfur oxide and carbon dioxide emission, unstable land, hazardous waste, etc. were identified as the problems emerged out of coal energy production. The problems evolved out of coal energy is comparatively higher than the one evolved in oil digging. Various types of coal exist in the earth that are used as fuel by humans includes anthracite, bituminous coal, lignite and subbituminous coal. Charcoal as a fuel. Charcoal is one of the solid fuels used for cooking and heating purposes. Charcoal is a destructive distillation product from wood. Charcoal ignites easily and emits uniform fire with less or no smoke. Being in solid state, it is easy to store without any cautious measure. It is used in kebab burners. Now, let us see about coke as a fuel. It is also a product from destructive distillation of coal. It is a solid residue from the destructive distillation. Soft and hard varieties of coke are available. The temperature at which they are distilled determines the nature of the coke. Soft coke is a one distilled at a temperature range of 600 to 650 degrees Celsius. As a domestic fuel, it is used widely without much smoke. Hard coke is the one distilled at the temperature range of 1200 to 1400 degrees Celsius. Its application is wider in case of engineered metallurgical processes. Image of coke is displayed here. Briquettes as a fuel. The dust from wood mill, slag and residues from lignite, coke and culm are used for manufacturing into briquettes. Regular shapes can be obtained from compression of those residues with a binding agent. After compression into shapes, it remains harder and a little friable in nature. It is one of the important ways to conserve fuel. Some small food outlets are using these as a fuel for producing continuous cooking. Here you could see the roll of briquettes displayed in the slide. Bagasse as a fuel. In sugarcane mill, a stalk of sugarcane after extraction of sugarcane juice which is available is termed as bagasse. They are fibrous materials that have the similar properties comparable to wood. Highly inflammable with good efficiency are the marked features of this fuel. They are dried and used as fuel. In this picture, you could see the bagasse discharged from sugar mill. Biomass as a fuel. Biomass is a waste from environment that are composed of renewable organic matters that are disposed of in the pits, open lands or left as fodders. Energy produced from biomass is carbon neutral. When biomass materials are burned, the energy in biomass is released as heat. The specific hood present in the fireplace converts biomass components into heat energy. Here you could see a model of biomass production instrument. There are certain drawbacks exist in the biomass energy system. Whether it is a biomass fuel or fossil fuel, the equipment requirement differs for each. The design of equipment and the purpose is limited. As any electrical generation process, the facility needs a steady supply of fuel. When anything is burned, it can create emissions and ash. Biomass is also a renewable energy. It is a fancy term given for the waste material from plants and animals. Some kind of biomass can be burned to produce energy. The wastes that are utilized for producing biomass includes wood chips, cow dung. Some type of garbages are used to produce electricity. Some type of biomass can be converted to liquid fuels which are termed as biofuels. A biomass material includes decomposed materials of forest debris, dried field waste, cow dung and manure, and some type of waste residues from edible and non-edible components. A biomass material becomes fuel by undergoing decomposition with the help of certain microorganisms and some chemical reactions. Example, wood pulp used by paper mills, biogas production or gobar gas production. In biomass power plants, waste from wood or other hazard-free industrial waste are burned to produce steam, which when runs through turbine produces electricity or provides heat energy to food production industries. Newer technologies and combustion processes have fortunately developed certain advanced facilities to control the pollution from the biomass, which when compared to fossil fuel is low. So far we have discussed about the solid fuels. Now let us see about liquid fuels. Petroleum is a byproduct of coal and is a natural fuel. It is a dark greenish brown viscous mineral oil found deep in Earth's crust. Hydrocarbons such as paraffins, cycloparaffins or olefins, naphthenes and aromatics, which bind together with small amounts of organic compounds containing oxygen, nitrogen and sulfur, are the components of petroleum. Petroleum is also classified according to the functional group they have got. They are paraffin group, asphaltic group and a mixed group of paraffin and asphaltic. And there are some man-made liquid fuels too. Kerosene, diesel oil, gasoline, heavy oil, naphtha, lubricating oils are some of the man-made liquid fuels. These are extracted by fractional distillation method of crude petroleum or liquefaction of coal. Gasoline or petrol. From crude petroleum, gasoline or petrol is synthesized or obtained by fractional distillation method. Diesel fuel is another extractive product obtained from petroleum. At the temperature of 250 to 320 degrees Celsius, this diesel fuel is obtained. Kerosene oil. This is also another distillation product obtained on crude petroleum processing. 180 to 250 degrees Celsius, we are getting this kerosene oil. Heavy oil. At the temperature range of 320 to 400 degrees Celsius, heavy oil is exist. Among the above liquid fuels listed, kerosene oil is the most commonly used liquid fuel for cooking purposes. Gaseous fuel. Now, we will talk about gaseous fuel, its types. Natural gas. It is a component of petroleum digging process. Natural gas is available in oil bearing regions which exist as a part of petroleum deposits. Man-made gaseous fuels are the artificial production by the human manufactured gases or existing in solid as well as in liquid form. Coal gas, water gas, blast producer gas, furnace gas and oil gas are some of the important manufactured gaseous fuels whose characteristics will be discussed now. First, we will see about coal gas. Coal gas is produced from carbonization in either coke ovens or gas making retards at about 1300 degrees Celsius by burning producer gas and air mixture, and coal gas is obtained. Coal gas has the property of being colorless and odorous. It is light in weight and flame emits smoke when it burns. Water gas. Water gas is the admixture of two combustible gases like carbon monoxide and hydrogen and little fraction of non-combustible gases. In a reactor, passing alternatively steam and little air at the 900 to 1000 degrees Celsius over a bed of red hot coal or coke, water gas is produced. Oil gas. Oil gas is obtained by cracking kerosene oil. In a stout red hot cast iron retort which is filled with oil, a thin steam is allowed to fall on the surface, which is heated in coal fired furnace to produce gas, which is collected in barrels for further use. So far, we were discussing about different types of fuels, their applications and some properties. Now, we are going to discuss about how to conserve those fuels which may cost and increase the cost of production, which in turn influence the price of menu. Energy conservation. Restaurants are the most energy utilizing industries all over the world. Compared to large restaurants, small scale institutions like coffee shops, small food outlets, drive-ins, resorts, juice and food corners consume more energy. Substantial consumption of fuel is required for long hours of operation of industries with specialized and automotive equipments. The energy consumption is high in food service institutions and is often found wasteful than any other large industry. Foods such as vegetables and fruits, groceries and instant food products and organic food outlets which are consuming more amount of energy in the form of instituting air conditioning, creating conducive environment and special equipment in order to preserve them for longer shelf life. Cooking and food pre-preparation consumes the largest portion of energy use in any food service operations, followed by heating, ventilation and cooling of food products and the service units. Considering those facts, personnel in the institutions need to be cautious in handling things. Here are certain tips to conserve energy at a personal level. Home level techniques like using metal such as stainless steel and not clay pans for cooking. Keep the pan closed whenever possible. Make sure the flame is colorless or blue. Use pressure cookers for cooking whenever it is required. The oven should not be kept open or open frequently, and similarly the refrigerators and freezer doors. Do not keep open or remove the lid from the pot while cooking. Thawing of frozen foods in the refrigerator and at room temperature before cooking reduces cooking times. Optimize the use of a preheated oven by cooking several dishes either at once or in a row. Keep appliances and hot parts clean before initiating cooking in stove. Practice cooking several meals at once. Avoid keeping hot or warm food in the refrigerator. Soak pulses before cooking to reduce cooking time. Use a lid when boiling water. Use flat vessels for cooking. Cost consideration is an important factor in calculating menu cost for the food service operation. Cost of energy in food service industries. Energy conservation is a very cost effective measure and it is relatively a lower expenditure process. While considering the profit margin, there is a need to increase sales and table turnover with efficiency. It is quite inexpensive with regard to food processing operations in the competitive market trend. Energy conservation efforts do not require huge cost or specialized techniques, but requires major changes in attitudes and habit and adoption of newer equipments or technology that promises profit on investment. So, what is the need for energy conservation? In order to conserve the depleting resources for the future generation, energy utilization and needs to be conserved as well to protect environment from drastic changes. The higher the rate at which the energy is being produced and consumed, higher the threat it can pose to the environment in many ways. In addition, it helps us to save the environment. Energy conservation can reduce those impacts and can protect the environment. The cost of energy is advances every year. In real, it is important to know the usefulness of energy conservation and avoid wastage. Home energy audits will help develop the custom solutions to keep the energy efficiency at home as well as in food industries at highest level. Energy conservation process is not a tedious job. It can start from home itself. Some of the practices includes turning off the lights during day hours, washing clothes in cold water than hot water, or using public transport facilities rather than own vehicle, sharing vehicles those coming from the same area. Later, similar kind of possible practices can be implemented on much wider scale like society level, at city level, district level and at country level will bring about energy reserves for future generation. In addition, this practice will bring down your monthly bills and improve your other essential expenditure pattern, thereby a special recognition in the society too. Conserving energy today is conserving environment for future generation. So, help protect environment. So, here are some methods to conserve energy in restaurants. Human habit is a possible and a single most important energy conservation effort in the earth. Unless the energy efficient equipments are used correctly or properly, it does not save energy. Food service institutions must be aware of the effective use of instrument. Efforts should be taken by the food service institutions by providing training and monitor daily activities of all staff to ensure successful sustainability efforts. So far, we have discussed about the fuels and their uses, sources and applications. To summarize, fuels are used for cooking, washing and heating in food service industries. The source of fuel and forms of fuels determine the cost of menu. A characteristic of fuels gives an idea about the nature and know-how of using it as a fuel. Energy or fuel conservation is an important factor to be considered at this moment. Hope the lecture has covered all the module objectives and the learning was interesting. Thank you.